I'd like to call to order the April 14th, 2015 meeting of the Millcreek Supervisors. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there any public comment on agenda items other than development or rezoning applications? Hearing none, we'll move on to the approval of minutes. We have before us the April 7th meeting minutes. If there's no additions or corrections to the minutes, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve the minutes.
Okay, I will second.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Groh?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next, we have the approval of bills. We have before us the Township bills of 4/14/15 and also the Sewer Revenue Fund bills of April 13th. If there's no additions or corrections to the bills, I'll entertain a motion.
I so move.
I'll second it.
Mr. Groh?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next is Resolution 2015-R-7, a resolution to amend the 2015 schedule of regular meetings of the Millcreek Township Board of Supervisors. This is something that's been discussed over the last several months, and we've kind of looked at the time frame of the meetings, and as we were able to find out, our meetings averaged about 22 minutes. The longest being 33, and I think the shortest being 7. Taking a look at that and taking a look at the cost factor of preparing for these meetings, our staff, to get an agenda together, takes portions of several days to do this.
I'm sorry to interrupt, it's not just the agenda, it's putting together the meeting minutes. And
meeting minutes afterwards and so on and so forth. What we've decided to do is to redo the schedule of meetings for the remainder of the year. The meetings will be advertised. The meetings will be on the website, the future meetings. And also, if you look on the back of the meeting agenda for today, you'll see that each week we will have the new schedule of meetings on there. So is there any discussion among the board?
well, my only comment is, and we talked briefly before the meeting today, as a matter of fact, several meetings, when we have the really short ones, the media will show up. They'll be walking in the vestibule as we're walking out the door because the meeting's over. Other meetings, newspaper reporters will call the night before saying, geez, I looked at the agenda on the internet and saw that there's nothing there. Do I even need to be there? Please call me afterward, because just in case something comes up. We do have an occasional meeting where there are some contentious issues. Those will still happen, but for the most part, like you said, Rick, our meetings are business meetings that are short, and the preparation time really gets to be tedious when there's very little on the agenda.
Yeah. Okay.
John?
Yeah, I just have a couple of comments here, and I know, I feel very strongly, I don't want to say I know, I feel very strongly that this issue is probably going to garner a lot of comments in the media, probably more of the print that would, and as you said, you know, there isn't enough at our meetings to discuss, enough official action. So in the spirit of getting information, and I hope that when somebody does make a comment that they have their facts, because I believe we have our facts together. Right now at this meeting, the time right now is 9:34. In the audience here we have 2 citizens, 3 members of the media, a police officer, and our staff, and then also our cameraman from WQLN. That's all that's in the meeting room right here. And that's generally what we've had, I think, for a long time. But further, I did some research here. Townships that are close to our size. Ben Salem Township, which is the first largest second-class township in Pennsylvania, meets twice a month, with the exception of May and October, where they meet only once a month. Middletown Township, which is right behind us, because we are the second largest second class, they meet once per month except January, March, June, September, and December, in which they meet twice a month. Then Hempfield, which is right below that, meets once per month, except in January, where they have a reorganizational meeting in addition to their regular monthly meeting. Take it to a local level here. Summit Township meets on the first and third Mondays. Fairview, first and third Tuesdays. And Harbor Creek Township, first and third Wednesdays. So I don't think we're doing anything that, I know there's going to be the accusations of transparency or lack of. Folks, we are very transparent. You know how to get a hold of us. The meetings are open to the public. They're broadcast. If you recall, a few years ago, Millcreek School District couldn't afford to broadcast these meetings. The township supervisors felt it important enough to have these broadcast. That's why WQLN is handling it. Last year we ran into a difficulty with Time Warner not fulfilling their obligation in broadcasting these. And what was it, 5 months before they actually started broadcasting them? So, folks, we are operating in complete transparency. You know how to get a hold of us, especially with the electronic emails, phones, and everything. That's really all I got to say about it, folks. I think we're doing the right thing by reducing the number of meetings to a proper amount where we can do our business and not cost a lot of money. So that's all I have to say. Do you need a motion? Or?
Thank you. Yes. Is there a motion on Resolution 2015 R-7?
I'll move approval.
Okay, and I will second that.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Groh?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next, we have announcement of bid received. This is for trucking and hauling of bituminous asphalt sand. Mr. McGrath?
Yes, we had a little bit of trouble with this early on, in that the first bids that we received for the asphalt sand, none of the companies who bid met our specifications. We've since revised those specs, rebid, opened those on April 1st. We opened the trucking and hauling bids on April 8th. What we do is combine the two to get the best overall price. I'll announce the bids for the sand first. Fiesler Sand and Gravel was $6.50 a ton. Troyer Sand and Gravel is $5.45 per ton. McDonald Sand and Gravel submitted a bid, but they did not meet our specs again. We opened the, again, as I stated, for the hauling of that material. Cindy Glover Trucking was $4.50 per ton for hauling from Fiesler Sand and Gravel, and Russell Standard was $5.68 per ton for hauling from Fiesler. Cindy Glover for hauling from Troyer Sand and Gravel was $4.49, and Russell Standard hauling from Troyer was $4.15. When you combine in order to get the lowest combined total, the sand would come from Troyer Sand and Gravel, which was in fact the low bid, and the hauling would be Russell Standard, which again was in fact the low bid, for a combined $9.60 per ton. So I would move that the sand bid be awarded to Troyer Sand and Gravel for $5.45 per ton.
I will second that.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Groh?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
And then I would move that the hauling of that material come from, be contracted with Russell Standard Corporation for $4.15 per ton.
Okay, I will second that.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Groh?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Thank you. Communications, Jerry?
I don't have anything.
Brian?
Nothing.
I have a few things from the PD. Permission for one MPD patrol officer to conduct traffic control at the Harley-Davidson of Erie, West 12th Street, on Saturday, May 30th from 09:30 to 11:30 hours. This detail is for the annual Patriot Tour Ride, which involves motorcycles exiting Harley-Davidson dealership eastbound onto West 12th Street, with the officer also assisting in the parade across West 12th Street to Pittsburgh Avenue. As we have done in years past, I ask that the township assume the cost of this duty, and I would recommend approval.
That's a motion?
That's a motion.
I'll second.
Okay.
Public comment? Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Grill?
Yes, I would like to make a little note on this for the public. I will be riding in this ride here too, so I don't just want anybody to know and try to pull anything on that there. I will be riding in that one there, so. Okay.
Somebody gonna try to run you down or what?
I hope not, but I'll be wearing plenty of orange that day, so.
Okay. Did we vote on that?
No, we
Mr.
didn't.
McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Groh?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Permission for one MPD patrol officer to conduct traffic control at the Harley-Davidson on West 12th Street on Sunday, June 29th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This detail is for the annual Muscular Dystrophy Association Bike Run, which involves motorcycles exiting and entering Harley-Davidson dealership at West 12th. As we have done in years past, I ask that the Township assume the cost of this duty, and that's in the form of a motion.
I'll second it.
Public comment? Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Groh?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Third is for permission for Corporal Scott Leone, Corporal Wayne Forcier, and Corporal James Constable to attend the Law Enforcement Active Shooter Emergency Response Course at Somerset Area School District in South Columbia, or in Somerset, PA, on Thursday, June 25th and Friday, June 26th. There is no registration fee, and the total costs, including hotel, meals, and fuel, are estimated at $700. Completion of this training will allow the MPD training officers to provide up-to-date instruction to their respective platoons on the technical aspects of planning and implementing a rapid law enforcement deployment to an active shooter incident. And I would recommend approval.
Okay, I will second that.
Public comment? Mr. Groh?
Yes.
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes. That's all I have.
Okay, do you have this one here for Matt Exley? Or do you want to, that's...
Why don't you do it?
Okay. Okay, I got a couple here. This comes from Matt Exley, who is our Emergency Management Coordinator. Gentlemen, I respectfully request that you approve the following training request. One is for him and Richard Petron to attend the G235 Emergency Planning Meeting at Hempfield Township in Westmoreland County on May 2nd and 3rd. The cost is none for the course, since this comes through FEMA, and $190 for the hotel, which is budgeted. Also, the request of the use of a township vehicle. I moved that we approve that one.
I'll second.
Public comment? Mr. Groh?
Yes?
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote
Okay.
yes.
Second request is for permission for the Millcreek 929 emergency team to attend a training Tuesday, April 21st from 7 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon for hazardous material operations annual refresher, which is required by OSHA and the state. There is no cost for this since it's taught by the State Fire Academy, and it will be here in this assembly room. I so move for that.
I'll second that.
Public comment? Mr. Groh?
Yes?
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Okay, and then he has one more here, request for permission of the 929 team to attend the Erie International Airport Hot Drill, which is on Wednesday, May 6th or Friday, May 8th, and this is subject to scheduling their department heads for a class each day from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and only students need to attend one day. Lunch is provided. There is no cost for this. It's being taught by West Virginia University Firefighting, and it's a location at the Erie International Airport. I move approval for that.
I'll second it.
Public comment? Mr. Groh?
Yes?
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Okay, and I got a couple things here. We have our March building report, construction report. Briefly, in the residential end, we had $1.3 million of construction cost, which included 2 new single-family dwellings and 2 two-family dwellings. Under the commercial, we had some remodeling and some private garages, a new bank, for a total of $7.1 million in the commercial aspect. In other words, a total construction for March, $8.5 million of construction value. These reports are available online. They are also available up in the zoning department. Okay, I have another communication, and this is a follow-up from a request, I think last week and possibly the week before, from Mecca. And it's a request for funding. And dear supervisors, I'm writing this on behalf of the Millcreek Joy Senior Center. We are requesting the remainder of the BRIC fund money that was collected on behalf of seniors. We understand that the total is $544.15. The money would be used by the Millcreek Joy Center to purchase supplies for their new location at the Stahl Center. And then Millcreek Joy Center is a program under MECA, operating under that umbrella. After further research and discussion here, I believe this, we should probably deny this request because MECA and the Millcreek Joy Center are not our senior service provider for Millcreek Township. I believe we already have a contract with LifeWorks, and we should probably see if they can provide a service for us with that money, and hopefully do away with that account, clean that account, and be done with it. So I'm going to make a motion that we deny the request for that money.
Okay, I'll second that.
Public comment? Mr. Groh?
Yes?
Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
And John, you've already been in contact with LifeWorks?
I've been in contact. They're going to come up with a program for us, yes. And they'll let us know. There is something that they have in mind. Give me just a second. They're getting all it formalized. And it has the program to do with, it's called Powerful Tools for Caregivers. It's a 6-week session, 1.5 hours per week. It's taught by 2 certified trainers. The course includes a book and a tape for the coursework. This course helps participants learn about tools to increase their self-care and confidence to handle difficult situations, emotions, and decisions while they're caring for others. Too often, caregivers become burned out, depressed, or physically ill themselves. Caregivers help to provide care and prevent unnecessary hospitalizations or prevent or delay institutional care. It is a course designed for caregivers. The program is called Powerful Tools, as I mentioned, was developed as the result of a 3-year project funded by the Meyer Memorial Trust out of Portland, Oregon, and is based on and patterned after the chronic disease self-management programs developed by Stanford University. Currently, LifeWorks provides both chronic disease self-management course and diabetes self-management course at the Township building. So that's what the program is about in a nutshell. They're getting everything together for this, so that's what they'll be doing. So, and I have just one more, and no clowning around, no pun intended on this. I was contacted yesterday. I guess there is a clown conference next week in Erie, and I'm just passing this on just for general information. It's going to be at the Ambassador Hotel. The Clowns of America International, and they're going to have some training up there. Of course, I forwarded this on to the school district. I don't know if the media wants to pick up on this or not, but...
That wasn't any kind of...
That wasn't a slam.
No, I would never say that. You know. But anyway, no clowning around here, folks. That's it. And if anybody's interested in it, you know, give me a call. Actually, I'm going to forward this on to the media. Hopefully they'll take it and maybe run with a story on it. But contrary to some rumors, I am not an instructor for this class, okay? So I just want the people to know that. So that's all I have. But
that was enough.
Is that enough?
Thank goodness.
Hopefully on a different vein, I want to ask a question while we're here. The rescheduling of board meetings, and we sort of talked about this, might affect planning commission schedule? Might affect? And I say that because the public doesn't understand it, but when someone wants their land use classification to be modified, this board can't act on it until 30 days go by from the planning commission meeting. So if the board's going to meet on the second Tuesday and the planning commission meets on the second Tuesday, we're going to have long delays when that could be avoided. I believe that the board is open to the planning commission changing their schedule perhaps to the first Tuesday of the month, and that would have to be sort of creative because there's 1 month at least in October where they're meeting the first Tuesday, and there is in November typically a first Tuesday you aren't going to have a public meeting in the evening.
That's right.
But I mean, that might be something that the planning commission should think about tonight.
Yeah, and we have discussed that, possibly moving that starting next year. We would continue, I think, with the schedule for the remainder.
Okay, well, I mean, it's up to you because frankly, everybody's going to be affected by delay. You've got, there's a definite public notice requirement before commission meeting, so your department would have to deal with that. You might think of changing it before next year to reduce the impact of people.
We can discuss that with the board, sure. Yeah.
That'd be good. That's all.
Thank you. Cheryl. Matt.
Yeah, the engineering department has 2 issues. Both of them are sidewalk deferrals. The first, Christopher Simmons is proposing constructing a house at 5411 Streamwood Drive. He would ask to defer construction of the sidewalks at this time along both Streamwood Drive and Steratania Road, where there are no sidewalks currently present.
Okay.
Any discussion from the board?
I'll move approval.
And I'll second.
Public comment? Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Grow?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
The second, also a sidewalk deferral. Kevin and Ann Harmon are asking for a deferral at 6016 Grub Road. It is an existing flag lot that goes back approximately 600 feet from Grub Road. They're asking for a deferral of approximately 20 feet of sidewalk construction along Grub where there are no sidewalks present.
Okay.
I'll move approval.
Okay, I'll second that.
Public comment? Mr. McGrath?
Yes.
Mr. Grow?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Citizens to be heard. Seeing none, is there a motion for adjournment?
I move.
I'll second.
We're adjourned at 9:50.
It's a 20-minute meeting.
You're watching the Millcreek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.